I was gonna say Aquarius, but that's literally the one I just did. So I'm gonna go with all the air signs first. So Gemini, welcome to your June 2023. I'm Daniel Red Wolf. I'm an indigenous shamanic practitioner, healer, and medium. I have had this YouTube channel for quite some time, and then I stopped posting because I was going through so many initiations, which have been painfully delicious, right? I'm so excited to be back because I know I did start it up again, and then it's like, nope, sorry, you're still not ready. You still got to get your butt kicked. So ever since that, I've been really focusing on my teaching shamanic classes and doing my ceremonies, leading ceremonies, sitting in ceremony, right? I got to honor my ancestors' traditions. So I'm finally back. I'm so excited to be doing the monthly forecast as well as getting more videos about different healing techniques or different things that are happening within the astrology, such as full moon, new moon, and and just random stuff that's really going to help you on your spiritual path. Visit my website, bodysoulspirit.co. I'm going to put the link below. You can work with me one-on-one. I'm excited that I'm actually going to start working with people one-on-one again. It's been a lot of travel for me, a lot of teaching, a lot of ceremony, so I've had to limit my one-on-ones, and because I got to a wait list and it got crazy, and I'm like, okay, I just gotta take this down and take a break so I can focus on teaching and leading ceremony. But I'm excited to be doing one-on-ones again. So for a limited time offer, as a welcome back gift, you can go ahead and get 50% off a session with me. Follow the link below to go ahead and get the promo code and the link. And like I said, visit my bodysoulspirit.co website. I have other practitioners. It's Colibrí Spiritual Wellness Collective. The promo is for me only, to work with me. However, you'll get there's a lot of practitioners there that are really good friends of mine, that I trust them, and know their skills. If one of them is calling to you, you'll click on their picture, and it'll actually send you to their website. So I'm looking forward to being able to work with each and every one of you during the next month, during the next couple months, right? And again, I'm excited to be doing these readings again. As you can tell, it's definitely been a whirlwind for me. The energy is definitely different. I've enjoyed my time teaching, and I'm still going to keep teaching. So sign up for our email list to get to see when we're having classes, or I'm going to be offering classes online as well, as in person here in Chicago. So Gemini, let's go ahead and get started for June 2023. Let's see. So I pull out 8 cards, and I kind of just see where we go from there. So right off the bat, I'm seeing the King of Swords, the King of Wands, sorry. The 8 of Wands, so fire energy is coming in. The King of Cups. Ooh, the 3 of Cups. Someone's giving birth. The Devil card. Either a birth or there's something happening. The Empress card. And the deck I'm using is the Wheel of the Year. This has ultimately been my favorite one. I have so many decks. And as a medium, I don't really need the tarot cards. I just use them because it really helps give you a visual. However, it also just kind of speeds up my my intuition, but also it really allows me to see other things that I might not be catching. Because I always tell my clients, I'm like, I'm listening, I'm seeing, and I'm doing so many and feeling so many different things during a session that I'm like, this kind of helps me concentrate and move forward, right? My grandfather used to always say I had diarrhea of the mouth because I would just feel, if I would see someone, I would just start talking. And my nephew the other day is like, told his friend, he's like, hey, my uncle, he knows more about you than you probably know about yourself. So be prepared. So of course they were like, holy shit, they said I was intimidating when I met them. I'm like, I guess they were intimidating, but I'm just reserved, quiet. For those that know me, know I'm I'm an introvert. So let's start right off the bat. The Devil card is definitely coming in. And as well as the Temperance card. So for me, that right off the bat for the month of July is shadow work. Like, shit's gonna get real for Gemini. It's about putting, as well as boundaries. I feel like during the past couple months, right, even the past 3 years has been a process of trying to understand what it means to put boundaries up. And boundaries are a really good thing. However, it's easier said than done, right? The boundaries are a really good thing to have. However, none of us really can hold on to them. So with the devil card, I feel like you're being held hostage to yourself, right? Until you really your energy is not shifting until you or won't shift until you begin to actually move um, yourself into a place where you're going to be unapologetically yourself, unapologetically confident of being able to just say, hey, this is what's happening. This is what's going on, right? So the devil card is reminding you that, hey, shit's going to hit the fan if you don't put boundaries, right? Because it might be that there's so much resentment happening, right? That there's so much happening going on, right? And with the temperance card, again, this almost looks like the with the temperance card in another deck. So you have the sun and then you have the moon on the opposite side, right? So this reminds us of, hey, I always see it as that's the sun and then that's the moon, even though this might be the moon. But I always see it as, hey, it's time to do shadow work. We got to look at our darkness as much as our light, because there is gold within that, right? So it's been a lot of, so I feel like this is a month of understanding where is so much resentment coming from. And it might be that for a couple of you guys, right, that it could be an issue with family, right, where people are always stepping on you and you feel like everyone's just stepping on your toes, or stepping all over you, and you're exhausted, you're tired, right. This also could be work situations where everybody's just throwing every single task at you, and you're just like, I can't keep doing this. I'm not going to keep going to that place of having to do all this work for everyone else, but then I'm stuck doing my own work, right? So it's, what boundaries do you have to put up, right? And when it comes to work, now that I actually brought up work, with this one, with the Six of Swords, this is telling me that some of you might just be leaving your job because it might be just so toxic. So a lot of you guys, not a lot of you, but I think some of you will definitely be leaving wherever it is you're working, or because of toxic behavior or backstabbing. Something's happening behind your back. Especially when I see this one, it always reminds me of the actual swords, like being backstabbed, right? So that tells me that you've gone through so much different trauma, different experiences, that there's a lot of energy that has to be shifted, right? So a good actually healing thing that you can do when it comes to this, besides actually, saging yourself, it's really about, in my tradition, we have a lot of different things that we use, right? We use different herbs, we use teas, all these different things to do our healing. But for you, with this one, I'm really kind of getting a sense, if you do an egg cleanse. So, we call it limpia con el huevo. And take an egg, just a regular egg that's not cooked, take it out of the fridge, and start in your crown, and then just really wipe yourself with that egg and feel like the egg is actually absorbing all this energy. Try to get the back of you, the front, and then just have a clear cup of water, filled probably like 3/4 of the way. Break the egg into it, and then you'll see different things. You might see like bubbles coming up to the surface. That might be betrayal, someone who's talking shit about you. Once you're done with that, put some salt into the cup with the egg, and then throw that with like anger release into the toilet, and then just throw away that cup, or just keep that cup and just use it only for egg cleanses. So that's definitely one of the different things that, that's one of the different techniques that I use for clients, that, right, and for myself and for my family, whenever they're like, hey, my energy's stuck, something's happening, what's going on, I feel like, someone send me shit over here. So I'll definitely, we do that, we've done that, our people have done that for so many years, right? So it's about being able to so now it's just like me, I just teach people to go to that place, right? So again, it's going to be about leaving a work environment. For some of you, it actually might be family, that you might be actually walking away from a toxic relationship. It might, or like a family environment, or maybe your housing situation. Something is happening that you're leaving, and with that boat, it just tells me that it's gonna feel like it's a long journey. So it's gonna feel like it's gonna take a while, right? From getting from point A to point B. However, you're gonna really take the execution during the month of June, but in order for you to get there, you have to work on yourself, on your beliefs, on yourself, on your I'm getting out of victim role and moving into that, because ultimately the outcome with the Three of Cups, right? There's a rebirth. This is going to be the month. If you really step into it, you're going to step into the month of July as a rebirth. It's going to be You're going to be able to move into that place of what do you call it? Of creation, of manifestation, right? And moving, especially with the Eight of Wands, right? That to me, with that eagle right there, that is really about, hey, your prayers are going to start being answered. And it's really not asking for prayers of, hey, God or Creator, give me this, give me this. It's, my prayer every morning for Creator is, hey, Creator, thank you so much for all the blessings you've given me. All I ask for today is love and joy. I don't ask for anything else but love and joy, that I experience my life today with love and joy. It might not be pleasant every freaking time, right? There's shit that goes on, right? Even regardless of how spiritual I am and how many ceremonies I lead and how many classes I teach or one-on-ones I do and how much shit work I do, I still go through my crap, right? Just like every other human, right? But I'm always asking for love and joy every single day when I burn my tobacco in my prayer in the morning. For me, my power animal is an eagle, and every time the fact that the eagle came up right now tells me that that's the highest flying animal. That's the one that is the highest connected to to Creator. So it's about taking your prayers and saying, what is it that you truly want, right? Do you want love? Do you want joy? Which one? Or both, right? But it's like, Creator, allow me to be able to accept all of my darkness, right? Allow me to please, give me the vision to see what needs to get done, what I need to get curious about, and ask yourself, what are you needing to get curious about, Gemini? Because the month of June is curiosity for you, right? There's so much happening, I'm feeling there's so much happening in your astrological chart that it's going to be about curiosity. What is it, right? What am I feeling? What is this emotion? What is triggering, right? What rumble? That person just pissed me off. What about that pissed me off, right? I had a client of mine, and then they're like, why are people so mean to me? And I literally replied back to them, and I said, why are you so mean to people? And they're like, well, I'm not really mean to people. I'm like, okay, well then why are you so mean to yourself? Right? And they broke at that moment, right? So how is your relationship with yourself, right? Is it toxic? Is it not? Because if it's toxic, you have to walk away from that toxicity, right? And I feel like you're going to have a support team, right? There is a support team right here, right? There is the two the cards right here, the cups and the wands, right? You have the King of Wands and the King of Cups. So that means that there's someone. Doesn't have to necessarily be older, but it's going to be someone wiser, it might be an elder, someone who you can really connect with and say, hey, shit's happening and I really need to get down to the bottom of it, to the core of it, right? So it's about getting the wisdom and being able to take that wisdom and say, hey, shit's moving and I just need someone to sit with it, right? I have a good friend of mine, she's my shame buddy, right? And every time I'm going through a certain situation, a rumble, I'm like, hey, shame shitstorm here. Like, I just need to sit with it, right? And sometimes, actually, not even sometimes, all the time, she's like, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, it sucks. I feel your pain. I've been there. I've done that. And all I can do right now is just sit with you and just let you vent and allow you to feel that pain. Because only when you feel that pain and you get curious can you begin to see where it is you're going to go, right? And it's a rumble because it's definitely not a tango. Shit hits the fan, right? When you go through, doing your shadow work, when you're doing any type of healing work, really, right? It's about moving into that place of, what do you call that thing? Facing adversity in order to get to the transformation, right? So it's definitely going to be, again, like I said, meeting with an elder. Maybe you might start going into therapy, right? Or like coaching, right? I know a lot of coaching. I do a lot of one-on-one sessions with coaching now, and it's spiritual coaching, and I just sit there and I'm curious about, I inspire curiosity, right? When I do these readings one-on-one, it's like, what are you looking at? What are we not seeing, right? So it's about finding someone who can help you lift that veil, to help you into that step, into that place, right? So, because once you lift that veil, once you start seeing all the beliefs or all of the patterns that are going on, that's when all of a sudden your connection to Creator is going to definitely strengthen, especially with the eagle coming in. It's like, hey, it's going to start ripping crap out of you. It's as gory as it sounds, right? But it's going to start ripping the energy out of you that no longer serves you, right? So then that way it's not like you're not like the devil, where it's like, hey, because even with like the devil card here for your Geminis that are single and you're wanting to, you got to work through your shit in order for that love to finally start manifesting, right? It's in the background, it's there. However, it's gonna move somewhere. It's gonna really, energy's got to flow. So now let's see the is it the Light Seers Tarot? Let's see what's happening. So the Seven of Swords, again, it's like bringing the darkness, right? It's like, there's the crows right there. It's like shit's got to move. You got to stop moving in through your shadows. You got to face the light, right? The crows are like, hey, I see you. I see what's happening, right? And for a lot of you, again, it's like, if it's in a relationship, this relationship, it's about how vulnerable can you be with that person, right? For some of you, I'm really actually getting a sense of like, hey, you haven't had an honest conversation about finances with your partner. You haven't had an honest conversation with them about, your feelings, of your emotions, what's happening. But I think for a lot of you, if not most of you, it's really about finances, right? Like for me, if I whenever it's with the partner, it's like, okay, let's get real on our finances. Like, I like to keep my finances separate, right? So it might also be that, hey, it might be time to keep your finances separate because maybe maybe your partner is the one that's overspending, or it could be that you're overspending when it comes to the income that's coming in, right? So it's about finding that balance, and again, looking at the darkness part of you, right? The tower, with the tower, again, it's bringing light into the surface. It's you're needing to receive this wisdom, right? For me, every time I see the tower card, especially in this deck, right? For me, lightning is powerful in shamanism in our life. It's because you can literally pull lightning for the sky to depossess someone. So it's about shit's gonna move, energy's gotta move. There's some darkness. Some of you might have extractions that you need to get done where it's like, hey, energy's gotta get out of here, right? If it's like stuff like that you're feeling like you're stuck, light up a black candle and just say, that this black candle removes any of the stagnant energy. It's not bad energy, it's the stagnant energy, or energy that doesn't serve me. Let it move. But again, it's during the month of June for Gemini, it's gonna hit you. It's gonna really take into it's going to cause an attack. But if you actually look closely on the card, there's the butterflies. So, with the butterfly, that means that it's going to create the transformation. That lightning, that bolt, that bolt of lightning is really going to trigger something, some deep healing, some deep initiation for Geminis, where it's going to cause you to actually transform. So again, yeah, it's going to feel like you're breaking apart, but you got to show your armor. You got to be willing to be completely vulnerable, because the moment you do that, there's freedom. You're going to be able to move into your life. Money's going to flow in, right? And you're going to finally be able to have an honest conversation with yourself and say, hey, you know what? This is what I want in life. It's like, hey, I've been overspending. I've been doing X, Y, and Z, right? And or I haven't been honest with my partner. Now it's like a freedom. For some of you, it's going to be like, hey, you're going to be able to travel now. You're going to actually be able to do what it is you want. So I definitely do see a lot of travel coming through for you the moment that's going to happen. So that actually could be August, September, but you got to prepare for that. You got to prepare for that in June to be able to work through that, right? A butterfly, you got to go through like the caterpillar stage, then the cocoon, and then you step into the transformation. But you have to be willing to show all of you, because the moment you do that, again, there's going to be a shift at work. You might get a promotion, or you might get, like I said, a new job because you're leaving a toxic environment. The Nine of Swords, right? For me, every time I see this card, it's like, hey, you're putting your light down. You're putting your boundaries up. You're saying, hey, this is what I want. This is what I need to take care of myself, so you're not in resentment. And again, the month of June is really about creating what is right for you. One thing that's actually coming up with that Nine of Wands is it could be some of you might be moving into a new house. There's going to be a change of location as well for some of you, and it probably is goes hand in hand with swords over here with the Six of Swords, where it's you're moving to a different location, but it's like, hey, you're putting a fence, and it's going to be like a distance, like I said. But again, it's about, maybe some of you want to get a house. They're giving me like some of you might want to get a house or move into a different apartment. However, you're thinking like you can't afford it or whatever it may be, right? But again, you got to look at things from a different perspective and see what's happening. So, final card, ancestors, enjoy new beginnings. So, I love how all this, spirit works, because it all really ends up tying together. So enjoy new beginnings, right? And this card in particular you see the house, right? And there's a spacing in between. There's a night, right? And again, with the darkness, right? It's a darker thing, right? So you're starting a new beginning by embracing all of your darkness, all of your shadow, right? You're gonna step into a new place, right? Even the homes also remind me of your boundaries. Your body is your home. So you got to keep space between people. I remember when I started putting boundaries down the last couple of years during my initiations, when I needed to step into the work of really stepping into teaching, as stepping into a role as an elder. I'm going to tell you, stepping into the role of an elder, that fucking sucks. Because for me especially was where I'm just like, I'm too young. No one's going to listen to me. What do you mean I have to lead ceremony? Shit, no one's going to pay attention to me, right? But I had to get over that fear. But it was the only way I was able to do it was I needed to create space. I need to let people walk away from me. And only allow people that were really supporting me and close to me and saying, not yes people. I needed people that were going to call me out on my bullshit, right? So again, you got to be able to surround yourself with the people, but also then keep people away, keep people at a distance. So Gemini, I'm so excited you're here again. If you want a one-on-one session with me, go ahead and definitely click the link below to get the details on it. And I'm so excited for you this month, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this month unfolds. Leave a comment if it resonated with you. Like I said, take what resonated with you. Leave the rest. It's totally fine. And again, I'm going to try to reply to as many comments as I can, but I look forward to working with you one-on-one. Like I said, it's 50% off to work with me. I'm going to do it till the end of June. After that, it goes full price. And so I know probably they're going to go quickly. Those spots will go quickly. So thanks again, Gemini. I look forward to seeing you next month. Take care.